not a lost cause. You may not qualify for a 4-quarter star, but you know what? You are on target for 3-quarter star. And that's just as important. You can still get prizes. And I don't know if y'all is for this quarter, but they are over the top amazing. And so, woo, there's Alice. So they're really, really good. They pulled out all the stops on this one. And, you know, stars will get recognition for career conference and all that. So, okay, so everybody, except for Stacy, because she's in a car, everybody stop whatever you're doing right now. Stop. We are not multitasking right now. Okay, we are focusing. Some of the things that we are going to choose to focus on this year is this. Where's the little sign? You may not be able to read it because it might be backwards. But this is what I used to say to my daughter every day when she went to school. Do y'all know what that says? Wherever you are, be all there. And to give yourself into the next 55 minutes to receive and to be open, and also get ready for tomorrow night, because for Monday Night Live, I have been preparing for a week. I want to share it all with you guys today, but I'm going to make you wait a little more than 24 hours. I've got so many things, just like Holy Spirit coming up on me, messages being poured into me writing stuff down like crazy, and knowing that it is for you guys. And it is not just about your business, but about life, about balance, about really embracing this journey. And my motto this year is let's get it done in 2021. But on my side motto, you know, I've always had the motto of, you know, we're awesome or we're great or whatever. And then my kind of side motto has always been no drama, no bullshit. And so my side motto is we're going to have fun in 2021, because we are going to have fun in 2021. So I want everybody to kind of be engaged and be present and be open. And if you have questions and stuff like that, just let me know, raise your hand, and we'll answer some questions. So first thing is you guys being star consultants, and you guys getting your prizes from the company, and you guys setting that standard in your business that you can put on your business card, you can put on every piece of literature you have, that you are a star consultant. And it's kind of like, once you've won an Oscar, you're always an Oscar winner. Have y'all ever noticed that? Like Emmy nominated or Oscar nominated or Oscar award winner or Emmy award winner. You are always, you can be a star consultant one time in your entire career. You are always labeled a star consultant. Now, you may not have star consultant status with the company where you get referrals and things like that, but you are always a star consultant. Now, here's the dealio. Y'all know we don't get the star ladders anymore. So that's why Andrea and I put together the star bar. So make sure that when you submit your Spark form and all for your prizes and everything for the end of December, make sure you add on there to your director. And Vicki put me down as your director. Make sure you put on your I want a prize on joannashipe.com. Don't forget my star. I think Adajani, you finally got your star from me because I remembered to get you your star. So you need to make sure that you get your star. And so I just want to show y'all real quick, just in case you don't know or you don't remember. I don't ever want to assume anything, but what I want to show you guys is on joannashipe.com, all you do is you go to promotions challenges, and you click on I want a prize, and you fill it out. Now, you don't have to wait till the end of the month. You don't have to wait until anytime. Once you qualify for a prize, you can submit it You can submit today that I owe you a star. And what I do is I save those. And at the end of the month, when I send all the prizes out, see, I told y'all it's already getting hot. Y'all are making me hot. That I'll have that little packet ready for you. Like I already have something set aside for Amy. I already have something set aside for Jamie. So I've got little things set aside for y'all on my desk. The part that you cannot see, if I showed y'all what this part of my desk looked like, you'd be like, oh my gosh, she's a hot mess. But then at the end of the month, when I send everything, it's all together. So y'all have all earned a star. And if you've never gotten your star bar, which Rosie, I don't know if you have, then make sure you say, I need my star bar as well as my star. And you get a star for every single level. So if you're a sapphire, you get 1. If you're a ruby, you get 2. If you're a diamond, you get 3, etc. So y'all claim those prizes. You've earned them. You need to claim them. And it's kind of like not claiming your star prize with Mary Kay. Why would you not do that? You know, it's fun. It's fun. Okay. Let's just say it's fun. We'll leave it at that. Okay. Before we get started, National Sales Director Tammy Vivala, who's a close friend of mine. She lives in Tucson, Arizona. She's an offspring director of Tracy Chavez. And y'all have heard me talk about Tracy before. Tracy's an amazing director. She's a future executive, trip director, and she recruited Tammy, and Tammy made national. But Tammy was talking to me about doing a star party at the beginning of December. And I'm like, well, what are you going to do? And she said, well, I'm going to give all my people popcorn and hot chocolate and tracking sheets. And I go, well, I'm going to copy you. And, you know, the purest form of or imitation is the purest form of flattery, isn't it? So, and in Mary Kay, we steal each other's stuff, and that's okay. We can do that. So I was talking with her and I said, I'm so excited and thank you for sending me your notes and everything of what we're going to talk about today. And I said, would you do a video? And she said, sure. So here is what she sent. Here is our video. Let me see. Oh, let me get out of this. And look at this beautiful lady. She's adorable.
Nothing like gathering together, especially in this season with a new year, new dreams, and new goals. And so I'm honored just to kind of kick you guys off and start this party and start this time of just fellowship and really dreaming and allowing the Lord just to infuse vision and dreams for you guys. And so I am National Sales Director Tammy Vivala, and I live in Tucson, Arizona. And I'm so excited to be a friend of your directors. Isn't it so great to have amazing friends? And I just want to share a little bit of a few things that I've been meditating on, and some things that have been helpful. And one of them is from this little story. I just want to start out there. It's really cool. It's from Malachi 3:3. So this scripture verse says, he sits, a refiner and a purifier of silver. Of course, who is he? It is God. So he sits as a refiner and a purifier of silver. And so I'm here going to ask you today, will you allow yourself to be refined and purified? And, that comes through a lot of looking in and a lot of dedication and hard work to make a change. Making a change is not easy. And then allowing somebody to help you make the change is sometimes even harder. But I hope that you let your beautiful director help you do that. I want you to think of how most of the things we do are because of a habit. And we don't allow us to learn or be purified or changed in any way. It's very hard to actually change. So actually, the first thing I want you guys to do is go ahead and cross your arms. Just go ahead and cross your arms. Just something you do all the time. Just cross your arms. Okay? Pretty easy, right? Crossing your arms. Okay. Now what I want you to do is cross them the other way. It's really hard. I'm like, I can't really do it. So it's easy to cross your arms the way you're used to, and I don't even know how to cross my arms the other way. This is how hard it is to change a habit. And so first of all, allowing yourself to be purified by the Lord and refined is the first tip I'm going to give you. And so I'm going to share this little story with you. And it's like, what does it really mean to be purified from the Lord? And so what does it mean to be to purify silver? And to purify silver, you actually have to take a piece of silver and hold it in the hottest part of the fire and let it heat up. And then you have to hold it in the middle so the flames literally burn off the impurities. Burn off the impurities. What are some things that you need to be burned off, that you need to let go of, that need to go? And then as you're holding it there, it says he sits. So yes, the Lord has to sit and hold it there. And the reason is, if you take your eye away for a minute, it will blow up into flames. It has to be watched carefully. You cannot take your eyes off of it. So how do you know it's ready? How do you know it's ready? Well, guess what? When silver is ready, you can see your reflection in it. Is that the most precious thing? And so I know this year, as you work hard to make some changes, as you work to be purified and you work to be led and coached, you will make a huge difference this year. And I also love that, you know, confidence in doing this and learning to do this is being willing to do something over and over and over again until something actually becomes mundane. When something becomes mundane, it's kind of like a habit. It is so boring, you could do it in your sleep. Your opening of your appointments need to be that way. Your closing of your appointments need to be that way. They just need to roll off of you, just like folding your arms, that you don't even think about it. And so are you willing to be refined this year and to dig deep and to work hard and to allow yourself to have everything broken off that is useless to you? Think of those things that are useless to you, baggage that we carry. It might be unuseful thoughts that we have. It might even be thoughts of unworthiness or thoughts of shame or guilt that you haven't done something before. That needs to all come off. And then you got to think of things that are impure in this world. And I think those are distractions and things that are voices that you don't need to hear. Break those off, making sure that you get rid of all of those things and allow yourself to be purified and sit till you see the perfect reflection of how God intended you to be. So make this a great year. I hope you guys have a phenomenal time today as you just gather together and work together, and more importantly, be together to be your best. Be your best so you can raise somebody up to be their best. Because when you're your best, it gives somebody else permission to be their best. So thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, Joanne, for asking me to join you guys. You guys have an amazing, blessed day. God bless.
Okay, so it's fun hanging out with people who can pour those powerful words into you. And you know, one of the things we're going to talk about a little bit tomorrow night, and I'm not going to go into it today because I told you I'd only keep you for an hour, but we're going to talk about the power of your words and the power of what you speak over yourself, and the power of change, and the power of repetition, and the power of consistency. And I'm telling you guys, I've got about 20 minutes of training tomorrow night that is, it's so God inspired. It is not my words. I am just the vessel. And so I really, really hope you guys will join us. But let's move on to what I really want to focus on with you guys. So, on your piece of paper or on the back of your tracking sheet, if you want to put it there, I want you to answer a few questions for me. And if any of you want to share this out loud, I would love to hear your thoughts. If you want to share it, but if you're not comfortable doing that, then you can share it with me in a Voxer, because I want to hear your words. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear the sound and your intonations. And don't y'all feel like that's so much more important than if I had put all this in an email? It doesn't have the same meaning as coming out of my mouth, right? It has a whole different impact. And this is something that, ooh, Kathy, I like your glasses. This is some squirrel. This is something that Tammy and I have been kind of working on, is going back to having conversations with voices. And she was telling me, she goes, I hate, text messages. I hate emails. I hate that. She goes, I like talking to people. And so I get everybody on FaceTime, or I get everybody on Voxer, or I get everybody on Facebook. And I think so many times, because It may be a self-esteem problem. It may be a self-confidence problem. And those are two very different things. Self-esteem is how you feel about yourself on the inside. Confidence is how you feel about how you project on the outside. But those two things really keep us from having those voice conversations. And I think it just makes such a difference. Now, just to send somebody a quick message, just to answer a quick question, yes, hey, are you going to be there? Hey, don't forget, that's different. But have the real conversations. It is your voice. That is what's important, is that voice. And, even if you have to set a timer, or have y'all ever done the play, your doorbell ringing? Like if a conversation's going too long, or the dog barking or whatever. And, even Mary Kay used to say, a conversation that lasts more than 5 minutes is probably going to turn negative. Okay. And so just having those quick conversations with people, I'm not talking like hours and hours and hours. I'm talking about just, hey, how's it going? What can I do for you? Is there anything I can do for you right now? Can I pray for you? Do you need any skincare? What do you need to make yourself feel beautiful, inside or out? I'm here for you. I'm not just your consultant, I'm your friend. And I think being in that zone of being open to communication with people. So this is something I'm going to really be working on this year. So expect your phone to be ringing a lot more. So I want you to, back to the original, when I ask you these questions, I want you to just jot down the answer. Okay, just jot down the answer, the first thing that comes to your mind. So if I were to say, share a little bit about you. Share a little bit about you. I want you to jot down the very first thing that comes to your mind. Kathy must be typing. She's not looking down. Oh, Tammy just sent me a text. Tell me a little bit about you. Now, if anybody wants to share, that's great. Does anybody want to share just the first thing that popped in your mind? Just unmute yourself and tell me what was the first thing that popped in your mind. Zulema, go ahead, unmute yourself.
Confidence. I do not have that.
Okay.
I just keep showing something that everybody think I'm so confident and comfortable in what I'm doing, but I don't have that.
Okay. Anybody else? The first thing that came to your mind when I said share, go ahead, Kath.
I'm a positive person.
Positive. Man, y'all are going right into affirmations. I thought y'all were going to say stuff like, I'm a mom, or I'm a wife, or I have this many kids, or y'all went right into the gut stuff. That's awesome. Anybody else want to share? What was the first thing you thought of? When I said, what, share a little bit about yourself. What's the first thing you thought of?
I thought I'm a business owner.
I like that.
And then I thought, oh, I'm a mom and a grandma, but which one do I go with first?
So this is something that when you're talking to other people, a lot of times, and y'all just did the perfect example of it, depending on the setting you're in will depend on the answer you give. If I were having coffee with Adejani, we met in Philadelphia. Oh, by the way, I'm outside your door right now. I'm kidding. She's like, what? If I were to have coffee with Adejani, I'd say, Adejani, tell me a little bit about yourself. In that type of setting, she might say, well, I have a son. You talk about your son first, wouldn't you? Because that's a huge priority. She might say, I own my own cleaning business. So those things that we say about ourselves, we talk a lot about DISC, and we talk about whatever someone mentions first, that's their priority. Not necessarily anymore. It depends on the setting you're in. If Kathy and I were at Mass together and I said, hey, it's nice to meet you. Tell me a little bit about yourself. She'd probably talk about her girls, because that's more of a family setting. You know, oh, I've lived in this area for this long. I've got 4 daughters. I'm married. I love this church. I'm here all the. It's a different setting. So kind of be thinking about that as you're forming your relationships with people. If I were to call Vicki and she were my customer, and I would just say, hey, Vicki, you know, you placed an order on my website. I don't know you that well. I would like to get to know you better. Tell me a little bit about yourself. You know what her answer would probably be? Well, I have dry skin and I've gone through chemo. So I have, and so I think sometimes we have to kind of we have to do that setting of where we're going with the conversation. If I were to call Terry and say, you know, Terry, how are your treatments going? That's a completely different conversation than me saying, Terry, how can I walk alongside you in your business right now? How can I support you in your business? Different conversations. So kind of keep that in mind as you're building relationships with people, because you want it to be multifaceted. You want to be the person that, you know, we learned yesterday, so important that you send a birthday card to your customers, because that might be the only birthday card they get. Not a text, not an email, but a birthday card. I ordered a bunch of birthday cards yesterday on Amazon. I'm like, I got to get some more birthday cards. You know, be that person who you don't necessarily have to get into their stuff, but be that person that they're going to go to in different areas of their life. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, here's your second question. And this is for you to ask for yourself, to answer for yourself, okay? What unexpected benefit has Mary Kay added to your life? Unexpected benefit. What surprise has been added to your life because of Mary Kay? You didn't expect it to happen, and it did. And it can be this past year, it can be happened the past week, it can be happened in the past 25 years. Go ahead, Terry.
I would say the friendships and the support that I never imagined I would have from complete strangers before I met them through Mary Kay.
Love it. Love it. That's beautiful. Anything else? Christine?
I put to be a stay-at-home mom, because I never thought I would be a stay-at-home mom. Like you worked, like that's what you did. And now I'm like the stay-at-home mom who gets to be at every rehearsal and the school field trips and everything that I never thought I could do. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be that mom who's like always there, but I'm that mom. And I love being that mom. And I never thought I would.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Anybody else?
For me,
Oh.
It gave me a different perspective on Mary Kay. My image of the Mary Kay ladies, like Mary Kay ladies, were women who just sold lipstick. I was blown away when I discovered how many professional women are Mary Kay consultants, and they helped to change my mindset of being a businesswoman. You know, I mean, these women are not just someone who's selling a lipstick; they are business women. They're bosses, and that was huge to me. Not just driving a pink Cadillac, but oh my gosh, they're CEOs.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really, really mind blowing to see how many women were just thinking like someone at a job. They worked a business. It's a business.
Business. And you know, I think so many times we're afraid or intimidated to talk to people about it because we're like, we don't want to be scary Kay. We would just want to be Mary Kay. But I think having pride in what you're doing and what you're representing and who you are and what your goal is so important. And I think we've got to stop apologizing for that. We've got to stop, you know, not so much being embarrassed, but yeah, I peddle cosmetics, or oh, I drive a pink car, or I mean, I think there's got to be some pride in it. We pour into people and we pour into each other. I mean, I think we have 3 examples right here of cancer survivors who have been poured into. Yeah, somebody just was going to say something. Terry, yeah, go ahead.
Well, Joe, I remember for me, when I was in DIQ, one of the things that you said to me that stuck with me 12 years ago, and I still pass it on to my girls all the time, is you used to say to me, you feel like you're embarrassed to say that you're a Mary Kay consultant. Why are you feeling embarrassed? You're acting like you're doing something illegal or something that people don't want. And that stuck with me because it wasn't, you kind of try in the beginning when I was a consultant in DIQ, you kind of backdoored the whole idea that, well, I sell Mary Kay, you're probably not interested. No, why not share what we love? Joanna said to me, you're not being fair. You're not carrying on Mary Kay's wishes because you love the product. You love the business. You're not sharing that gift with everybody that comes in your presence. And that conversation with Joanna turned my whole business around. That's what got me through DIQ. So thank you, Joe. Just want you to know your words are still with me.
Well, it's funny when Alice was just saying, you know, these are bosses. I thought she was going to say, and they are bossy because we sometimes can come across as being a little bit bossy. But I think you have to understand it's kind of like when you tell your kids to do something over and over and over again, and you're like, you know, the value of it, you know how important it is. They just don't see it, and sometimes we just want to go, oh, you know. And if you keep doing the same thing you've been doing, you're going to get the same results you're getting. And are you happy with those results? So thank you, Terry, for sharing that. That was very kind of you. Okay, so the next thing I want to ask you guys is, we talked about yesterday in Ignite 2021, they talked about 4 basic skills. Several different speakers talked about it: booking, coaching, selling, team building. Okay, on each one of those, I'm going to call it out, and I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being, how do you spell that? And 10 being, I've got it, I don't need any help with it, I'm a master at it. So I want you to write booking, and how do you feel your skill set is? And you guys, you're not bragging on yourself if you think your skill set is a 9 or a 10. I mean, if you're great at booking, then you're great at booking, okay? Nobody's going to judge you. Okay, booking. Coaching. How good are you? What is your level of confidence, your confidence level at coaching your hostesses and coaching your appointments to bring guests and all that? Okay. 3 is selling the product. What is your confidence level? And Sayonara just sent me a text. They are stuck in the airport and she can't be on. But I could tell you right now, Sayonara would say 10. Her selling ability is a 10 through and through. Just like Terry's skills, team building, which is number 4, team building, that skill set, it's a 9 or a 10. No problem there. Okay. So, sorry. I just lost my train of thought. Booking, coaching, selling, and team building. And booking is also rebooking. So you might want to make a little side note on that. You might be great at booking, but you're not so good at booking from bookings. Okay. So in your confidence level on those things, let's say on booking, your booking confidence level is like about a 4. Your rebooking is maybe about a 2 or a 3. Do you know, when you're looking at these 4 things, do you know how to get better at doing those things right now? Are there any of those 4 things, that you're like, I'm at a loss as to where to find the training for that or how to get better at that? Because guys, I want to tell you something. If you've ranked yourself an 8, 9, or a 10 on all 4 of those, then I want you to let me know when your Cadillac is showing up. Because if you had a level 10 confidence, not skill set, but level 10 confidence on all 4 of those things, you would be in a director suit. Because confidence in knowing how to do something is going to promote the activity because you feel good about it. And those are the things I really want you to look at today. And I want you to think about it and I want you to pray about it. And that's what I want you to share with your director, to walk alongside you and say, you know what? I can book, I can rebook. Coaching, I could be better at. I just don't practice it enough, but I'm pretty confident in how I am at coaching my hostess. Selling, yeah, I'm pretty confident in that. Team building, the proof is in the pudding. Not so good at that. Might want to work on that skill set. So in those 4 categories, I want to challenge you guys. Wherever you see less than an 8, I want to challenge you to go on In Touch and look up in Video Lounge the training for those skill sets. And I want you to watch at least one video of training on that skill set. And then I want you to reach out to your director and talk through, have a coaching session. And most of y'all are mine, but have a coaching session with what it would take to build that confidence level. Do y'all know that confidence comes from repetition? But if you don't know how to do it in the very, very beginning, how are you going to know what you should be repeating? Because you might be doing something right now over and over and over again, thinking, oh, I'm getting my confidence level up. But what you're doing is not getting you the results you want. Sayonara and Paula Langworthy and Rosie and I had a coaching call a couple of weeks ago, and the whole call was about tracking. How do you track? How do you write down customers' names and numbers? How do you follow that you've invited them for a facial and then ask them to be a hostess and then share with them the marketing plan and then follow up with them 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 weeks, 2 days, 2 weeks, and every 2 months? How do you track all that? Well, there's a form and you got to write them down. And that's how you do it. And you put it in a drop file. And you pull it up, you pull up your drop file every day and say, oh, I got to call Vicki today and Zulema today and Alice today and Rosie today, because they've all been on the product for 2 weeks. There is a form for that, but you may not even know that form exists. And that's where we can walk alongside you and say, can I send you a tool that might support you on this and help you get better at this? Having level 10 confidence is what Tammy Vavala and I have talked about over the last 2 years, is developing level 10 confidence in ourselves and in our unit members on all 4 skill sets. So if I, as a 28-year-old in Mary Kay Cadillac director, if I'm working on those skill sets, then why wouldn't everybody be working on those skill sets? Because would y'all agree that in today's world, especially since last March, that we've all had to go back to being a brand new consultant again and relearn those skill sets in a completely different world? If we were in a meeting right now in New Jersey or Florida or West Virginia, I could reach out and I could put my hands on your hands and say, let's work on these skill sets and let's pull it up on In Touch and but we can't do that now. We are in a virtual world. But here's the beauty of it. I don't have to travel to 10 different states to send the same message, right? So there are pros and cons, and we have to embrace the pros and we have to take the cons and say, how can we make them livable? How can we make them doable? How can we build our skill sets in this type of world, in this virtual world? Because guys, I hate to tell you this, but if you're not watching the news, it's going to get worse before it gets better. So if we embrace the technology, if we learn how to use it, I remember when we first started doing Zoom and Alice was like, I'm getting myself a Zoom account. And I said, well, you can use mine. Nope, I want my own account. I mean, she was like, I'm learning this. This is doable. It's embracing it. It's knowing that if you learn it, like she said yesterday, I don't remember who said this, but she goes, if you know how to do it, do the Google. She kept going, do the Google, call the Google, do the Google. And I'm like, well, it's actually not the Google. It's like, yeah, but it was really cute. But Google it. If you don't know how to do it, Google it. If you can't find it on Google, call your director. We'll tell you where to find it, or we'll help you do it. I'm the kind of teacher and coach that if you make the effort to find the answers and you still have questions or you want to go deeper, that's awesome. But, if someone calls me and says, or they text me, they wouldn't call me, text me and says, what's the link for the Zoom meeting? Do you not think I just want to reach through the phone and strangle them? It hasn't changed in 2 years. But you know what? That may be where they need to start. They may need to say, I'm not even reading the emails. I'm not even going on Facebook. I'm not even following this stuff. Let's back up and start over. And that's another thing I wanted to kind of tell you guys before we go to the next topic. I want you guys to give yourself permission to take everything that's happened in the past and throw it away. Every promise you've ever made yourself, every promise you've made your director, every promise you've made your family, everything you've said I'm going to do, I want you to throw it away. I do not want to hear anyone say, do not utter the words, well, I should be a director by now, or I should be in my red jacket by now, or I should. Quit shitting on yourself. Okay? It's messy and we have a toilet paper shortage. So quit shitting on yourself. I'm going to be better. I'm gonna on yourself. Take it one step at a time. Do what you're going to do, change what you're going to change, make a list, put it up there where you can see it, and then just commit yourself. Our pastor just said this morning, he said, something new, something shiny, a new idea, a new shiny. And I started thinking in Mary Kay, we want the next idea. We want the next sales promo. We want the next pretty shiny thing. Let's get good at what we already know. We know how to need to know how to do before we start worrying about the next shiny new hostess program or the next shiny new whatever. Let's just through repetition and through doing the same thing and through following the path that is a proven path in this company. Let's do that for the next year and see where we land. Let's submit our weekly accomplishment sheets. Let's show up to Monday Night Live. Let's be accountable to our director. Jump on Voxer once or twice a week and just say, hey, I just want to let you know what I'm doing today with my business. Choose to show up. Because here's the deal, guys. Whatever you do with your leadership, whether you like them or not, when you have people on your team, you're going to get that exact same level of respect and attention and commitment. Do y'all not see that as you are moms and you have kids? And you see, if you have a child that is kind to others, what do they get in return? Kindness. If you see a child who is mean to others, what do they get in return? Meanness. If you see a child who is giving, people tend to be giving to them. What we put out, what we subject our leadership to, we are going to get that back in our own team. And some of y'all may have already seen that. And so I just want to express to you guys that this is a new year, but more than anything else, this is a new Mary Kay. We have a new DIQ program. Thank goodness they didn't change the car program. We have new bonuses you guys can earn. Alice expressed a desire to move into directorship in the next couple of months. And my first thing to her was, remember what I said, Alice? Go read the rules and make sure you know what the rules are. She boxered me the next day and she said, okay, I read the rules. I know what the rules are. I know what I'm supposed to do. Okay, now we can work on here on the internal and figure out what needs to happen out there because she knows the rules now. What you pour into it, you're going to get back tenfold. I promise you. Okay. What are you most, write this down. What are you most committed to improving in your business? What are you most committed to in improving, getting better at in your business? Does anybody want to answer? Christine, yeah.
My consistency with faces.
Ooh, okay.
Because I think I did maybe 15 faces in all of 2020.
Okay. Anybody else? Yeah, Jamie.
Team building.
Mm,
When you were asking us to be honest about the numbers, I mean, I can book them, I can sell them, I can rebook them, coach them, whatever, but I'm just not scheduled enough in my own mind to do what I need to do in order to be a better team builder.
okay. I think a lot of people feel that way, Jamie. And I will tell you, Jamie, if I am not doing consistent interviews and marketing shares on a consistent basis, that is the skill set that drops off the fastest.
I totally agree. Because
That-
when I was going for DIQ and directorship, I was hot on it. I mean, we got it done. We finished up with one extra person. And, but now, even though I know I can do it again, it just feels like, why bother?
Yeah.
So now I need help with that.
Okay. I think everybody feels that way because women, we like to have a team. But here's the deal, guys. When you're building a team, it has to be continual. You have to continually be filling up that bathtub. And I think a lot of people, and I have a very close friend in New Jersey, very, very close friend, who we built her a unit. We built it in 3 months. And 2 months later, she didn't have a unit. And, and Carrie White will be the first one to tell you that's exactly what happened. We built her a unit and then she went, well, that was fun. I think I'll go do Beachbody. So, and she just said, she goes, this just wasn't my thing. Like I did it for 4 months and I was like, well, that was fun. So I think if you want a team build there, you have to have a kind of a little different piece in your heart. And, Tammy and I were just talking about this yesterday, that so many people could live off their sales, literally live off their sales. Don't think that you have to team build in order to be successful in this business. Mary Kay even said, if all else fails, sell the product. You do not have to team build.
So Joanna,
yeah.
For me, it was just sharpening my skills, learning the skill set, sharpening my booking skills, sharpening my sales skills, and just something that Gloria Mayfield Banks, I remember her saying many years ago, and that was to swell your unit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite sure what all that means, but just every month have a commitment and stay focused. And I have a really hard time with staying focused.
Okay.
That's what I would need to work on, is tracking and focus, being more focused and follow up. But I think it will start with me committing myself to learning, booking, learning how to open and close, and really be that bad. I wanted to say this before. I can't say that last word. You don't want to say, right?
Bad.
Yeah. Oh, there.
Do you know, I want to tell you, what I consider to be the most important tracking page that you can use is a weekly plan sheet. A weekly plan sheet. Every week. I would even say at the end of every month, so last week, you plan out the next 4 weeks and you plan in there when you're going to be holding your appointments, when you are going to be making your calls, when are you going to go get your hair done? When are you going to get your nails done? When are you going to the doctor? You put everything on there for 4 weeks. One of the worst things that can happen in your business is that you are reactive and not proactive. How does it make you guys feel when you've got a day completely planned and then someone calls and says, oh yeah, you're supposed to, hi, you're supposed to be at the dentist right now. Are you coming? And you're like, ah, I forgot. Or your husband calls you and says, did you pick up Joey today? And you're like, being organized gives you peace of mind. Knowing your schedule gives you peace of mind. Having a weekly plan sheet and following it as if it is your job gives you balance and peace of mind. And so where Alice is saying, I have a hard time sometimes staying focused, that is a lack of a weekly plan sheet. Because if on Sunday at 2 o'clock, I have written down that I'm going to make 10 customer calls and I'm going to reach at least 5 people and book at least 5 parties and sell at least 5 skincare sets. And I'm tracking it on my weekly plan sheet, and I'm tracking it in my sales, my weekly accomplishment sheet, then that is non-negotiable. I very rarely work on Sundays. This is so rare for me because I know mentally I've got to have one day a week, and it's always Sundays, one day a week where I can shut it down and spend some time with my husband, start the day spending time with the Lord, regrouping, maybe doing some meal prep, just chilling. Do you have you given yourself permission to have a down day or have a couple of down hours or have down time? I want you to give yourself permission to do that. I don't care if you have to go find a Starbucks or something and get yourself a book and go read for 2 hours to get out of your own house, but give yourself permission to have downtime. Y'all heard me say, my husband never stops. Since we finished services this morning, he has not stopped. I don't know what he's doing. He keeps walking in and out of the garage. He hadn't stopped. But there comes a time in the evening where he sits and I might still be loading the dishwasher or running laundry or doing something. And he has no problem sitting down and going, I'm done. And so why don't we do that? Schedule that appointment to have your nails done and don't do anything else but just read a book during that time. Or go somewhere and hide and have that downtime. I don't know about you guys, but I always feel like I need to be doing something. I have a really hard time just stopping. Zulema, yeah, because there's always something that needs to be done, right? I asked my husband the other day, I go, do you feel like you can ever get everything done? Like, do you ever feel like you're done? And he goes, no. And I started thinking, you know what? When everything's done, I guess they can bury me because I'm done. But give yourself permission to have some downtime. Get a CD, turn on 5 songs, whatever, give yourself that 30, 45 minutes, hour, especially our ladies who are cancer survivors. They will probably tell you that your day, your time on earth is so precious that you need to give yourself permission to have some downtime. So put it in that weekly accomplishment sheet. Don't feel like you're always having to work your business. You're always having to be there for your kids. You're always having to be on. Give yourself permission. Do your weekly plan sheet. I want to challenge you guys. Do a weekly plan sheet that starts tomorrow. And I want you to do one for every week this month. And you can already put this on it. Monday Night Live every Monday night, 8765. Okay. Starting a week from tomorrow night, the first 30 minutes is going to be a virtual party. We are going to teach y'all how to do a 30-minute virtual party with guests. Okay. So if you're like, I don't know how to do it, you're going to watch Andrea and I do it. I'm going to do it one week. She's going to do it the next. It'll be completely different. So you'll get both sides of the spectrum. All right. Every Thursday night at 4, 5, 6, and 7, we are doing Star Search. 30 minutes, quick interview with somebody. We're going to talk about the Mary Kay marketing plan. We're going to do drawings and giveaways. Bam. That's it. Put that on there. Put on there when you take your kids to school. Put on there when you pick them up. Put on there when you go to church, when you go to Bible study. Put it all on there. And then do me a favor. Send it to your director. Because if I see that on Wednesdays from 1 to 4, Kathy Crawford is babysitting, that's when she's with her grandchildren, then I know that's probably a pretty good time to be able to call her. As long as they're, not crawling up into her hair. But I don't mind kids screaming in the background. I don't mind babies crying in the background. But that might be a good time for her and I to connect where she's focused on them. Or she might say, no way, Jose. Don't do it.
Nope. When I'm with my grandkids, I'm with my grandkids. I do nothing else.
Okay.
I am with them focused.
I thought
That's my time with them.
they were babies.
One's 18 months, one's
Oh, okay.
10 months, and I'm active with them on the floor, and they're not crying, they're not screaming, they're just playing with grandma, with mom.
Perfect. Okay, you might have time where you're taking your kids to church training. What is it called? What is your, Zulema, what does your daughter go to?
RE, religion education.
In education. Okay. So she might take Chloe and she might sit there for 45 minutes in the parking lot. That would be a great time for she and I to chat. So you can schedule those pockets of time. If you're in your car and you know you're going to be in your car for 45 minutes to an hour. I know that every Tuesday, first thing in the morning and then midday, I'm going to be in my car for an hour. So that's a good time for me to be touching base with people. Okay? So think about that. Put that on your weekly plan sheet. And it, like Kathy said, when she's with her grandkids, she's with her grandkids. Perfect. I will know. Do not contact her during that time. Okay? All right. Here's the last one. What advice would you give yourself for 2021? What advice would you give yourself for 2021? What advice would you give yourself for 2021? Yeah, Jamie.
Stop sabotaging myself.
Okay, let's turn that into a positive.
I no longer sabotage myself.
Sabotage means that you are doing things to stop yourself. Why don't we empower you?
Okay.
Empower yourself to accomplish your goals. Now,
Okay.
think about what are the things you do to sabotage yourself. Are you, and we're not going to go into it right now, but are you overcommitted? Are you bored? Are you all over the place? Are you having to be reactive instead of proactive? Are you taking care of a lot of people that you don't know their schedule? Things like
All of the above.
Okay. So that might be where on your weekly plan sheet, when you're showing up to your Mary Kay business, then you don't do anything else during that time period. Christine is not going to put Mary Kay work time when her kids are logging on and logging off of Zoom and doing virtual learning because they may need her help right then. But maybe while they're actually working, and I don't want you to, you may say, no, I have to be right there with them. But you know, if they're independent. Okay, so if they're doing their own thing, then she's like, okay, so from 10 in the morning until noon when we have lunch, that's great Mary Kay work time for me. Do not stop to pick up hairs off the bathroom floor. Do you guys know something? It took me for a long time to realize this. The time I spent cleaning my house, if I would pay someone to do that for me and use that time to make the money to pay for the housekeeper, I kept my sanity. I didn't think about cleaning my house all week long because I knew someone was coming to do it. So I didn't bother to do a lot of things that I would normally have been, you know, festering over. And it worked better in my plan. And it relieved me of that stress, knowing that she's coming on Thursday. If I know she's coming on Thursday, I'm still going to empty the dishwasher. I still might run the vacuum cleaner because we have dogs. I might still do a few other things, but I'm not going to focus on the deep cleaning because I've got somebody that I am working to pay to do that. Because I can do a virtual party and in 1 hour make the money to pay her to clean my house once a week. Something to think about. And you might be like, I don't want to spend that money. Well, let's think about how much time you're spending doing that. Where is your time best spent? What other advice would y'all give yourself for 2021?
I put to just give it to God and do the work.
Okay. Pray as if everything depends on him and work as if everything depends on you.
I put create a goals board and believe in yourself more.
Good.
I put to find new faces so that I can team build better.
Find new faces, Amy?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Zulema.
I am trying to stop thinking about what the world is thinking of me on everything I do, because I am trying to please everybody and to do so much for so many people that at the end of the day, I go to be disappointed, not of them, not of the world, of me. So I am going to work really hard on just doing my best and work from my mistakes and do better.
Okay. Put that away. Quit beating yourself up. Because let me tell you what, you will never make everybody happy. You will never make 50% of the people happy. I mean, I work very hard on not comparing myself to other people not because I personally feel like I come up short, but like when I have a unit member say, oh, you've never done top director's trip? Oh, you haven't done this? Oh, well, I'm working with someone who does this. Or they'll say, oh, I heard from this person and they made national in 5 years. How long have you been building your business? I mean, you guys, people don't know how things cut. And when you cut at other people and you jump on them, it is going to come back tenfold. Zulema, can I tell the story of you going to your friend's house to work out? Okay. So y'all see Zulema, right? She has a friend in a gated community that is teaching boxing or, exercise class. And she's moved it from a gym into her driveway, which you can do that in Arizona because it's nice and good weather here. Long story short, she pulls up and she gives the name and everything of the person she's coming to see. And this very rude young man asks her, oh, are you her housekeeper?
There is nothing wrong with that. It's just the way he approached me and just did
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. My the dog is barking. Could you repeat that, please?
The guy at the gate asked if she was the woman's housekeeper that she was going to go visit. And she told me this story. It was probably almost a week after it happened. And I cried because I thought no one should ever, ever be made to feel less than what they are. But people, sometimes they say things and they don't even realize they've said things that hurt you. And I know sometimes I've said things and I hurt you guys and I don't mean it. So, I mean, we have to, that's why I'm saying it's a new year. And I think a lot of us need to go back and say, you know what? I'm not going to worry about what was said in the past. I'm not going to worry about what we've done in the past. I am not playing the comparison game. We are going to create new habits. Jamie sent that to me earlier. I will form new habits because when you take an old habit that's a bad habit, letting people make you feel like you're less than you are, that's a bad habit. You've got to replace it with a positive habit. If you're doing things in your business, let me make this even more simple. You're not following up with people after you do a virtual party to close the sales, or you're not booking from bookings, or just anything like that. If you don't replace that bad habit or that habit that is not getting you where you need to be with something new, then that habit is going to come back. It's going to come back over and over and over. And some of these things we fight every single day. I fight every single day not to worry constantly about what everybody thinks about me. I want to make everybody happy. I want to pick a time for our meeting that everybody can show up. I want to make sure that everyone feels recognized. I want to make sure everybody feels special. I want to make sure. And you guys, sometimes Monday nights when I get off Zoom, I'm exhausted because I'm like, did I? And you know what? We're not worrying about that anymore. It is exhausting, isn't it, Terry? To work and work and work. And yeah. And you're like, how do we make everybody happy? It won't happen. All we can do is the very best we can do. And you guys, I want to end by saying this. God has put you in this business. God has put you on this Zoom call today to be honored as a star consultant. You guys, I want you to look around at the people on this video right now. I want you to imagine Sayonara here too. But these are the best of the best of the best. You are the best of the best. You know how to do this. You are setting the standards. Your words are the words that other people depend on to empower and to pour out to other people. And I want you to take responsibility for that. I want you to say, you know what? I am good. I know how to do this. I might need to tweak a couple of things, but I know how to do this. And this is where I'm supposed to be. And this is where God wants me right now. Because you guys are the best. All right. So you guys go. And I want you guys to just be thinking about where do you want to be in March and where do you want to be in June? Because one of the things they talked about on Ignite is setting your goals in 90-day increments. Setting your goals in 90-day increments, January through March, April through June. Because 90 days, if you read the Bible over and over and over and over, that 3-month time span has significance. Also, we tend to keep our attention focused in about 3-month increments. We've got some amazing programs. The Monday nights, the Monday nights, the Thursday nights. We've got some great things that are going to be happening. Take advantage of them. Start booking your guests now and make that happen. Okay. So you guys, congratulations for being on. Want you to do some reflecting. Want you guys to be on Monday Night Live, because we are going to do some awesome things. We're recognizing, Terry, we're recognizing some of your people too. I'll let you know who. But anybody who's in our top 10, we're recognizing them, and it's over all of the superstars. It's not just my unit or Andrea's unit, it's everybody. So it's going to be super fun, and you guys are going to love it. And we're going to have some information. And so I hope you guys will be on. So y'all have an amazing